What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today is the end of season review, and we're going to do our transfer roundup just before the season kicks off. If you missed the last episode, you should probably go back and watch it because we won the quadruple. Oh, what a season it was! 4 trophies. Unfortunately, the end of season review will only show 3 because the Munster Senior Cup has kicked off again. So we'll never actually get to see the Munster Senior Cup in the end of season review block where we win 4 trophies. At some point, we could even win a European trophy, and that would add even more. We could end up winning multiple trophies, like 6 trophies. That would be. Imagine how amazing that would be. But if you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Right, fellas. So as I said in the intro, we've won the quadruple. We are better, confirmed. We are better than Liverpool. Cork City, quadruple. Like I said though, it doesn't show that in the end of season review. It just shows the league, the All-Ireland Champions Cup, and the Irish Senior Challenge Cup. But we know we won the quadruple because we were here. They are happy with Julian Albrecht. Only happy. An excellent deal for the club. Colin Whelan gets an A+. Of course he does. Delighted with the deal. Not spending an awful lot of money to buy the player, not an awful lot of money on wages, and 400k of a minimum release is fantastic. Again, quite happy with Emran. Fairly happy with Barry Coffey. Kind of disappointed in him. Prince gets an A+ as well. I'm pretty chuffed myself. Excited to sign him on loan. The whole deal looks great value for money. Yeah, but the guy played 3 times off the bench, and he was injured the entire time he was here. I am so glad we weren't paying his wages because I would have lost my mind. We almost half filled our stadium, which, whatever. 15 goals for Kay Murphy as our top goal scorer. Expectation was to finish mid-table. We only went and won the blooming thing. They expected us to reach the quarterfinal in the Irish Senior Challenge Cup, which we won. Semi-finals wasn't important. Not important, but we won. Again, this is showing that we haven't actually played in it yet, even though it says here we won it. And the All-Ireland Challenge Cup, Champions Cup, no, not important, but we won it. So, delightful. Biggest win was against St. Pat's, 6-0. You didn't get to see it, but it was fantastic. Match to remember was also against St. Pat's, which was 5-1. And goal of the season went to Luke Keane, his first one against Galway. Which, that game, you can tell, that was a difficult game. Finances, sponsorship has stayed the same. Our reputation is 2 stars currently. Broadcast revenue has massively increased. Corporate and hospitality massively increased. Competition prize money massively increased. Match day, commercial and retail massively increased. Total merchandising 21,000. We could do a bit more than that. 730 shirts sold. Whelan, Gilchrist, Albrecht, Emmeline and Farrenberger as the top 5. Gilchrist deserves it. He's been fantastic. Bulger makes it in as one of the midfielders. Dave Harrington makes it. I'm not sure how Harrington makes it in. Bulger makes it in. Duna played like 3 games this year for us. Played 1 game this season for us. Somehow gets in. I'm not 100% sure how they've figured this one out, but that's fine. Fans player of the season goes to Kevin O'Connor. Young player of the season goes to Heffernan at 17. Signing of the season to Albrecht, as we already saw. Goal of the season went to Luke Keane. Again, already saw that. Cian Murphy with 19 goals, our top goal scorer. Colin Whelan didn't get a full season, so I expect him to break that, or to be the top goal scorer next season. McGlade, 13 assists. So he didn't get an assist for quite a while at the end of the year. Didn't get a massive amount of appearances though, so I kind of understand. Most man of the match awards went to Kevin O'Connor, highest average rating of 7.6. Also, which is fantastic, an Irish Premier Division player of the season went to Ali Gilchrist. So we did break some records. Cian Murphy scored a hat-trick, which is the most goals by a player in a match. Can't believe nobody scored more than a hat-trick. I think we had a couple of players hit a hat-trick though. Colin Whelan did it. I think Farnberger did it. Interesting. Most player of the matches went to Kevin O'Connor. Worst discipline was actually Gordon Walker with 14 yellows and 3 reds. I know Hakkinen had 17 yellow cards, but I don't think he had a red card. Maybe he did. I don't know, I can't remember. I think he maybe had one. Oldest player went to Mark McNulty, who's here for another year. 355 appearances is delightful. Highest transfer fee paid, Colin Whelan paid 95k for him. I imagine that's going to get broken at some point in the future. If it doesn't, then I don't think we're going to be winning the Champions League, unless we do it without spending too much money. Fastest goal went to Dylan McGlade, 1 minute 3 seconds. Youngest goal scorer went to Ryan Coleman, 16 years 128 days. Oldest goal scorer was Ali Gilchrist, 27 years 266 days. I think it's fair to say that we have a fairly young squad. Players inducted into our overall best 11. Somehow Barry Coffey is there as, I suppose he did play. He's played 36 times for us. I kind of understand it. Cian Coleman, yeah, 3 games for Shamrock Rovers. Not ideal for him. Jonas Hakkinen's on the bench. Prince actually made it in as the starting goalkeeper. That's pretty good. Club vision for next season: defensively solid, counter-attacking, entertaining football. I'm not sure we can do all of that, but that's we'll try. Work within the wage budget and sell or sign players to sell for a profit. I can certainly try and do that. They want us to finish in the top half of the Premier Division. I'm hoping to win it again. They want us to reach the first qualifying round, which is where we start. And then my contract also expires. So we'll have to have an old chat with them to see if they'll increase or give us a new contract towards the end of the season. And then essentially just work towards being a Europa Conference League team for 2 years, then try and win the title for 2 years. I'll accept that. That is fine. Do the end of season team meeting. Congratulations, great achievement, government breaks, rust and condition, anything less than winning it. Top half. Okay, yeah, they're pleased. That's what they could reach the mid-table is what they said. So I'm just going to say that to the players. Give a good account of ourselves. I don't think saying, we're going to make it to the Champions League proper is a good idea. Young players, everyone is more or less happy except for Hakkinen. Keane, who's one of those young players. And I'm going to, so that's all for promises for now. We'll talk about code of conduct when you get back. New season team report, that's grand. End of season break, we're back in January 23rd. Just talking about the thing. And what's this? Irish Young Player of the Year, Lee Kavanagh, Colin Whelan, Ryan Cassidy, George Nunn, or Cian Murphy are all up for that. We do have some transfers already confirmed. Josh Hounahan is off to Bray Wanderers in a couple of days. Joel Bean is off to UCD. Actually going to be a top division player again next year on the 1st of January. And then on the 6th, Paul Kalsberg joins us. And he looks like he's gotten a bit better. Capped at under 17s level. He hasn't increased. He hasn't moved up, which is a little bit infuriating. I think when he joins us, he'll start making it into the Faroe Islands first team. And then 2024, we'll have our young Ukrainian striker joining us. And hopefully he'll be even better. Because I think their junior coaching is not great, but they do have a good youth facilities, and that is all I can ask for. So we only have one player coming in as it stands. We have 2 players leaving, so we're going to be saving 15 quid on wages somehow. I think he's joining on a youth contract, and Paul Kalsberg is getting paid very little. So that's interesting. So the next part of this video will be us looking at the transfers that I do. Hopefully, we'll have some cash money to spend at some point. Hopefully this balance gets some way to being less disgusting than it is. The fact that we're almost 500,000 in debt isn't as bad, because we were almost 1 million in debt not too long ago. And the scouting budget needs to be fixed as well. 150,000 over the scouting budget. That's not helping the overall balance. So we will be back in just a hot second to look at the transfer roundup. Hopefully we bring in some good players. There's a lot of players leaving. Not a lot of players. Some players are leaving. Hopefully we can get a bit of money. As you can see, committed spend just shy of 15,000. It's not bad. So we will be back in just a second for that. Right, fellas, so the transfer window is officially closed and we are just about to kick off the start of the league season against Shelburne. As you can see on the screen here, we have many cups to be playing, or many, I suppose all these cups and the league, plus we'll have the Champions League in probably June time. So it's gonna be a busy season. I anticipate us having just a little bit of trouble keeping our players fit for the whole season. But as you can see, it's counting the end of last season's competition against Glentoran as a win for us this season. But we also won the Irish President's Cup against Derry City. It was not a very, how should I put it? It wasn't a very convincing victory. But as you can see, we do have the Irish Senior Challenge Cup, which should be kicking off in July. I think the Champions League kicks off in when we're going to be starting, probably like the end of June, and it's only February, so we need to get the results quite early in the season. Hopefully try and get some sort of a gap if we want to try and win all the competitions we're entering this year. But it does say we've got 2 cups already. We've the Munster Senior Cup. We got the hardest draw we could have gotten. We're playing against Waterford, whereas Middleton play either Cove Ramblers or Treaty United. Not ideal. Before I show you the transfers, we're expected to finish 3rd, but we do have 2 players in the media Dream 11. Somehow Shamrock Rovers are expected to be champions again. I just don't understand how Shamrock Rovers have how I don't get it. I do not get it, but that's whatever. Okay, so we're expected to finish 3rd. We're obviously going to attempt to do better than that. Our first game of the season is not against Waterford, even though the league table would have you think that that's the way it's going to be. We're actually playing Shelburne. We did have 2 defeats in the pre-season against Waterford and Treaty, but we were playing very different sides to what we probably intend on playing. A lot of players were on trial for these games that we were looking at signing. Didn't sign a lot of them, to be fair. But every other game, fairly comfortable. And we beat Rockmount in the Munster Senior Cup quarter-final, which, as you can see, Noam Emaran, a perfect 10. Colin Whelan got a hat-trick. It was quite fantastic. We did have a little bit of rotation to some degree for injuries. They only brought 239 fans to their home game. Interesting. But yeah, transfers. We've been busy boys. We've got a goalkeeper coming in at the end of his contract in Romania, playing for Universitatea Craiova. It's going to be a backup option, playing for their B team. So I don't expect him to come straight in. And you know about what's his name? Raluchenko from Benfica's Ukrainian. I was going to say Uruguayan. Benfica's Ukrainian academy. He won't be joining until 2024, so I'm not going to worry too much about him. We also have a couple of staff members coming in. Michael Murphy, 72 years old, coming in to be our new scout. We have we basically got rid of all our staff. So quite a number of changes after winning the league. But we did release a couple of players. David Harrington has gone to Treaty and has played I think he played one game so far. Yeah, he's played one league game so far. Dara Crowley's gone off to Cove, and he's been pretty decent. Scored twice in 3. So that's not too bad for him. Potentially bring him back at some point. It's his second time at Cove, first time playing as an actual Cove player. And Dylan Woods, just unfortunately, never quite made it. Would have been our 10th best central midfielder. So that's unfortunate. But if we look at players that have gone out, Richie Logbottom, the player my fiance picked as her name of the game player, has gone to first division side Finn Harps on loan. Horovanov has gone to Athlone. George Oliver has gone out on loan again, but this time to a club in France where he has played 9 and hasn't scored yet. But then again, his finishing isn't. Yeah, it's finishing 6. I feel like potentially loaning him out wasn't a great idea. Well, to that club anyway. Joe O'Brien Whitmarsh has gone to Cove Ramblers. He's played 3 games as well. He's guaranteed first starter or first team player, which is fantastic. Paul Kalsberg signed and then a week later went back to Faroe Islands on loan. I knew the wage was going to be an issue. 275. If we paid him 25 quid more, he would actually be able to play for us. But because we didn't, he is not going to be in a position to be one of our players for the time being. Rhys Griffin has high potential, 4.5 star. As a right back, he's gone out on loan to Bluebell United. I think it's the Leinster something or other. The Irish Leinster Senior League Premier Division. So he's hopefully going to get first team football. Eunice Carrigbow's come back to Wexford. He has indeed back to Wexford. Romello Mitchell's gone to Truro on loan. And we sold Rory Keating to Shelbourne for 63,000, where he's going to be... We're going to start our season against him. Wasn't happy with the fact that I'd dropped him down the pecking order. I think I made him... He went from regular starter, I think it was regular starter, or it was regular starter or important player to backup. So he wasn't impressed, so I sold him. We've already looked at Paul Kalsberg. Archie Brown came in on loan from Lucerne. We already had, these two guys are left backs. Archie Brown, previously of West Brom and Derby, and he's contracted to Lucerne in Switzerland, one of our parent club, one of our parent clubs. They sent him out to us on loan, which I was pretty happy with at the time. But we'd also had a Portuguese fella who we were bringing in on loan, but the Archie Brown one went through like almost instantly. It popped up and said, this guy, Lucerne, are sending Brown to us on loan. He arrived and just decided to bring Akwu in as well. Don't think we're paying anything for him. Yeah, we're not paying any of his wages, which is fantastic. If he does well, we'll sign him. If not, he'll go to, I think it's Shamrock Rovers. Yeah, Shamrock Rovers want him. We signed a guy from Eritrea. Yeah, Eritrea striker. Paying him 100 quid a week, so his work permit wasn't accepted. Just a handy player to have. He's a 5-star potential. I have him in the under-19s, trying to get him a loan, but nobody seems to want him, which is not great. Who would I sign him from, actually? From German club Hale. Be handy to have him around. We also signed Eunice Caragbow's brother, Isa. Brought him back to Cork City, because why not? He's just in the under-19s. Probably give him some game time at some point. Right back does seem to be a slight issue. Josh Adams has joined us. He is a utility player. Can play in central midfield, attack midfield, and either side of the wings. Can also play as a striker, but hopefully we won't have to play him there. Came from Man City. Again, not paying any of his wages, which is fantastic. Man City do want him to play as an attacking midfielder. He won't be at the start. Giovanni Fabian has come from Inter Milan. And if I remember correctly, does not want to play for Inter Milan, but he's more than happy to play for Cork City. He's played 3 games in his entire professional career, but he looks decent. I think he could be good. He's 20 years old, so might just try and flip him for some cash. As you can see, decently valued, which is fantastic. And most recently, Adam Dihad has come in as a centre-back option. We're a little bit light in central defenders, so it was nice to bring him in, just give him an opportunity. It does say he's best position is right back. He's going to be a centre back. I know a lot of people are going to look at the fact he's 5'11" and be like, you can't play a 5'11" centre back. Oh, believe me, I've played 5'6" guys at centre back, and I do not care. He won't be I know it's this important player. He's not going to be a nailed on starter. Released by Troy in the summer. Came up in scout recommendations, and I was like, yeah, I'll take him. Please and thank you. So we've quite a number of games to be played this year. We already have some less than fit players. Nordstrand not fully fit to start the season. Luke Keane is going to start off the bench because he's a little bit tired. Unfortunately for Gordon Walker and Ali Gilchrist, they've been dropped to, well, Ali's this is the third time in 3 seasons that I've started the season where I'm like, maybe he won't play too many games. Probably end up being like a nailed on starter. Dylan is also Dylan McGlade. He is constantly dropping down the pecking order. Somehow comes back and plays the majority of games in a season. So he's a very handy utility player to have. Can play anywhere across the front 3 attacking midfield positions and in central midfield. So he's going to get game time at some point. Anyone else? Oh, Mark McNulty has decided he's going to retire at the end of the year, which is quite sad. But we all knew it was coming. He is 42 now. 42 years old. He'll be 43 when he retires. And I'm pretty sure he signed to be a goalkeeping coach. So that's pretty good. As you can see as well, Roy Quigley is starting at right back for us for the first game of the season. And if we look at his attributes, he absolutely blew up in the summer. His physicals they're just fantastic. Mentals have gone up a little bit, decisions. Leadership is up to all 2, and off the ball is up to 6. But his technicals have gotten up quite good as well. Like technique is up a decent amount, passing's pretty good, first touch and dribbling. You know, these are all things we want to see. We have some players have come through our youth candidate preview already. So I'm guessing we've stole a few players away from somebody. But we do have quite the bloated under 19s. So I'm looking to shift a lot of these players at some point this year. George Heaven and Barry Coffey both transfer listed and refusing to leave, which is not ideal for us, but it's fine. Finance wise, still in debt, but that's grand. We'll have Champions League money coming at some point. Although I think we have to actually make it to the Champions League to get any money for it, but that's a future problem. But the next episode will be the games against Shelburne and Sligo to kick off the season. Hopefully, we're able to start the season as we mean to go on and win every single game. Could this be the year we win or we go undefeated? I'm going to say probably not, because we do have a lot of cups to play in and we'll have the Champions League. So it's not, no, I don't think it's going to be an unbeaten season. But if we can win the league and chuck a couple more cups in, because last year we won the quadruple. We're already on for a quadruple this year with 1 cup win. So who's to say we can't do it again? But yeah, England won the World Cup as well, by the way. That was disappointing. As an Irishman, very disappointing. But if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below how you think we're going to do this season, where we're going to finish in the league, how many cups are we going to win. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say we win a treble. So thank you for watching, fellas, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.